Hi guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to today's video. So if you guys are new to my channel, my name is Emily and I just graduated from San Diego State University this past December 2019. So I wanted to sit down today and talk to you guys about all of the important things that you guys should know your freshman year of college at SDSU. So it's been a hot minute since I've been a freshman in college, but I just wanted to make this little informational video for you guys just because I know when I was a freshman and I was getting into those months before getting into college and before high school graduation, I was just super excited and wanting to get all of the information that I could about college, and I thought this would be super helpful for all of you incoming freshmen out there. So without further ado, onto the video. Okay, so freshman year of college, it's honestly a scary, a nerve-wracking, but a really fun and exciting year. Freshman year was definitely one of the most memorable years of college just because you meet so many new people and there's just so many stories and adventures and everything freshman year. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about first was the dorms at SDSU. So you can easily go online and search all about the dorms, and I wanted to talk about my dorm specifically. So at SDSU there are several different dorms and there are new ones too that weren't there when I was a freshman. So the ones, just to list them, are Chappie or Chapultepec. I can't really pronounce these. Then there's a new one. I will just type it on the side because I don't even know how to pronounce that at all. And then there's Maya and Olmeca, South Campus Plaza, Tenochca or T-Nasty, or I think it's called a different nickname now, not sure, University Towers, and then there's Zura. So all of these dorms, they're in all different parts of the campus. The dorms that are in across the bridge, that's gonna be Zura, T-Nasty, Maya and Olmeca. And then South Campus Plaza, that's where all like the restaurants, and that's where the Trader Joe's is, so that's a really nice place. And then Chappie is like all the way on the other side by the pool. That one's pretty far. That one's like away from civilization. And then I don't know where that other one is. I literally didn't know that existed. But anyways, I lived in Zura my freshman year. So when I was a freshman, that was the brand new dorm. And so no one had lived in there before. Zura used to be like the really run down dorm that no one wanted to live in. And so they did like a $1 million renovation to the dorm. And so my class was the first one who lived there, so I wanted to live in the new dorm. So I lived there, and I actually lived in a quad, meaning that I lived with 3 other girls, so there was 4 of us in like a little shoebox of a room. And so I'm also out of state, so my parents wanted me to save money wherever I could, so I really was only gonna be in like a triple, and the triple and quads, they were like the same price, I believe, or the quads were like the cheapest. And so I just went with that because then also Zura was the only dorm that had quads, so I knew for a fact that I was gonna get put in Zura if I selected quad as my room preference. So I just did that because I wanted to be in the nice dorm, but you can choose to live wherever. I've heard everyone says that every single dorm has its ups and downs, but everyone loves where they lived. I have my friends who lived in T-Nasty who loved it, people who live in Chappie, even though they're like really far away, they get super close with the people who live on their floor. And then also Maya and Olmeca, great stories there too. So like anywhere you live is gonna be really nice, but I did really like Zura just because it was completely renovated. It was super nice. It does have like the rooftop where you can like chill up there too, and then also downstairs there's like the huge TV, there's foosball tables, there was grills that you can cook at. It was like super nice. And then it also has a pool in the back that's connected to Maya and Olmeca, which was really nice too, so you didn't have to go all the way to the ARC pool, that's like the SDSU pool, all the way there. You just could go to the pool that's connected to the dorm, which was really nice. But Zura for the most part was like very nice my freshman year. I don't know how it is now, but it was really nice. And so linking with roommates for freshman year, you have like so many options for linking with roommates. So before you get there, there is probably a San Diego State University incoming freshman class of whatever this class is page. When I was an incoming freshman, there was a million posts every day of people looking for roommates. So people would put surveys of themselves and say, hi, I'm Emily, I live in Illinois, I dance, I'm a dancer, I love to dance, let's be friends, my favorite color is pink, stuff like that. And so everyone is looking for a roommate because most people don't want to go random and not like their roommates. So a lot of people are looking for roommates. And so I put one of those surveys up, and funny story is that I actually went random with my roommates because I couldn't find anyone. Once I did decide to go random and I put in like all of the housing preferences and roommate preferences or whatever, that was when I actually went into my Facebook Messenger and saw that there was a billion message requests for me because so many girls wanted to be my roommate. And I would have like really clicked with those girls, but I didn't see the messages until months later. And I still believe my freshman year probably would have been so different than it was, but I didn't see those messages. So just make sure that you can see your message requests on your Facebook, because that might make or break your roommate situation. But it's really easy to link with roommates. You just do it simply through the SDSU housing portal, and you just pick each other, and it's really easy. And then rules and RAs in the dorms is just standard rules, honestly. Like, you can't be too crazy, and it's just standard rules, like nothing that's like a surprise. My RA was super cool and super chill. We were like BFFs, and I always hung out with her. She was like really nice, and she was like friends with everyone on the floor, so she was like a really cool RA. I don't really know how it would be if you had like a strict RA, but my RA was really cool. And you have to think about it too, they're also students, so they're not gonna be like too crazy, but my RA was like awesome. There was one time that me and like 20 other people on the floor got written up because we were all super loud at night, but that's fine. But it's just standard rules, standard stuff that you can expect from living in the dorms. And then last thing that I want to talk about in the dorms is just boys on the floor and in the building. So as a freshman, you're wanting to mingle and see what's new, see what's fresh on the floor. And my advice is to just like maybe go for someone who's not on the floor. Maybe choose someone on a different floor, because your floor, that's where you're living for a year, and everyone is always walking everywhere. You see everyone every single day. And also that's something that I really miss about freshman year, is being able to see people every single day and talk to people every day. I would get off the elevators and everyone would be in the lounge hanging out, having a good time, and that was the best part of freshman year, honestly. And so boys on your floor, I wouldn't do it, because I have some stories about that, but we're not going to get into it today. And so I would stray away, maybe have them be like, meet someone from a different dorm, a different building, you know, the usual. But that's that. But you will have like the best experiences just hanging out with people on the floor. The study lounges and like the normal lounges with the TVs is just the best place to hang out with people. And honestly, living in the dorms was like my favorite part. I loved it. It was amazing. Okay, so now going on into meal plan. So meal plan at SDSU, when I was a freshman, there was 4 different options that you can choose from. So there was like the Flex 5, where you get a certain amount of money during the weekdays. I had Flex 7, which was meal plan every single day, and then there was meal plan where it was like 10 something, and then you could just get, it was like the cheapest meal plan. And then there was also, I don't know what it was called, but everyone nicknamed it the fat kid meal plan because there was like a lot of swipes and a lot of money that you got. And so with mine specifically, you were given a certain amount of money for lunch time, like the first half of the day and then like the second half of the day. And so I definitely like had more than enough money every day. I didn't have an issue with not having enough. And then also, since I was like out of state, that's why I had the Flex 7, so I could still eat food on the weekends. But there were some times where I definitely still had money left over, and the money doesn't roll over to the next day. So my friends and I, we would go down to the market at night and just buy snacks for when we were doing late night study sessions. So that was nice too, because then you could also stock up on like mac and cheese and like granola bars and snacks like that, which was really nice. But I really liked meal plan. It was a good option for freshmen, honestly, and now there are a lot more food options than there were my freshman year. And so SDSU definitely does have a lot of meal options, which is really nice. Which brings me to my next topic, which are the different restaurants and on-campus dining options that they do have at SDSU. So there are a lot now compared to my freshman year for sure. So just on the top of my head with meals and restaurants. So you have the student union. So in there is the Starbucks, there's OG's, which is pizzas, there is the Habit, which is burgers and sandwiches and like fries. And then there is a Chipotle on campus, but meal plan isn't included in that. And then we had a bunch of like Aztec markets. So those are the places that have like little to-go foods and snacks and basically anything that you could need were in the markets. And then going off into East Commons, which was the main food place, you have Rubio's, which is Mexican food. There was a Subway. There is currently it's like a Mediterranean place. I've tried it, it was pretty good. There is a Panda Express, there is a SoCal Chicken, there is a salad bar, and then there's a Vinny's, which is Italian food. And then going into West Commons, which is on the other side of campus, there was a sandwich place. There was also another Aztec market which had a grill, so then you could also get different sandwiches made. And then they also had like Mongolian barbecue, so like noodles, and then bagels in the morning there. And then also throughout campus there is coffee carts, so you can get coffee. There's bagels at those places too. Now at South Campus Plaza there is the Trader Joe's, but I don't think meal plan is included in that, but it is on campus. And then there's Eureka, and so that's like a sit-down restaurant. It's American food. And then there's Poke 1.5, so Poke Asian food, amazing. And then there is a Witch Witch. There is a taco shop. There is also an acai bowl place. And then there's also Wings and Things. So there's a lot of options on campus, and I'm probably missing like one or two, but those are all the ones that I can remember on the top of my head. But there's a lot for you to eat. And because there is a lot for you to eat, you really have to be aware of the freshman 15. And some people say it's a myth, but it was real life for me. I think I definitely gained 15 pounds and even some more on top of that. So the freshman 15 is real, and especially for me in high school, I was training every single day because I was a competitive dancer, and so I could honestly eat whatever I wanted in high school, and I never gained weight. I was like super skinny in high school, and then I came to college and I was just like casually like working out at the gym, but then eating out every single day because that's what you do as a freshman. And so the freshman 15 is real. And then people say like, oh, you're walking around a lot on campus, like, so it will be fine. Not when you were like a strict high school athlete. Like, that doesn't cut it for your workout for the day. So it's definitely real. Just make sure that you stay on top of like working out if that's what you're into, or just like making sure you're not eating Panda Express every day, because that's also a thing that I did. Just stay away from the orange chicken. Just stay away. My next point that I wanted to make was just making friends at school. So I think this is something that so many people are concerned about, is just making friends, but I just wanted to just remind everyone that everyone is in the same shoes that you are. So everyone is leaving home, everyone is going into a new place that they are not familiar with, and it's all brand new to everyone. So I was super scared my freshman year because I was scared that I wasn't gonna make friends and that I was gonna be a loner and that I was gonna be like all by myself. And so everyone is so welcoming and everyone is so nice just because everyone is in the same shoes as you are. And so everyone else is also trying to make friends, and even people who are like more shy and reserved, the outgoing people will like go out of their way to like make sure that you're comfortable, which is like so nice of everyone. And everyone was like the nicest people that I've ever met. Like freshman year, I didn't really like run into any mean people, and so it was like just a nice experience. And so on your floor, everyone within like the first couple weeks leaves their door open, and I remember my roommate and I literally went to like all of the floors and we just like said hi to people, and everyone was so welcoming and so nice because again, everyone wants to be friends. Like there's no one who goes to college and doesn't want to be friends. So everyone wants to be friends, everyone is super friendly, super nice, and also beforehand too, there will probably be group me's made for like freshman orientation, so then you can meet people at orientation too, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I remember you from the Facebook page, oh my gosh, I follow you on Instagram already. And so people like just make connections too, and so that's super nice as well. So everyone is super welcoming on the floor, in the dorms, and then also like in classes too, because again, everyone is in the same boat. But yeah, making friends was like honestly pretty easy and like super nice. And then also at SDSU, they do have events called Aztec Nights for freshmen and basically anyone on campus, but it is mostly freshmen who go to them. And so they're at night, they have like a carnival, there's like a welcome dance. They're like pretty lit, honestly, like low-key lit. And they're super fun, and I had such a great time, and I also met a bunch of friends there too. So SDSU like sets you up for success for making friends. And so with those Aztec nights, you can also make a bunch of friends too, and then you can also like go to like parties afterwards as well. So that's like super fun. Okay, next thing that I wanted to talk about is campus life. So the SDSU campus is honestly beautiful. I loved the campus. The buildings and everything are like slowly getting more renovated. So the student union is so nice. They just renovated like some other buildings like Storm Hall area, and everything is super nice. So also with SDSU too, the campus is pretty like enclosed, so you can walk everywhere. There's no like buses or transportation like other schools, so you can walk everywhere, which is like very helpful. And then also there is a lot of places on campus where you will probably make your spot. So for me, my favorite spots to study and hang out were the student union and then also the library. The library is gonna be your best friend throughout college, and those are my favorite spots to just like hang out. And then also just Hefner Hall is just like an icon. She's an icon. So that's also a great spot too. And then also a lot of people love to hang out by the koi ponds where the fish and the turtle hang out, and then also just like on that grassy knoll area. And everything about the campus I just loved. Like I just loved walking on the campus every single day. It was amazing. Also talking about different on-campus buildings is the ARC. So currently the ARC, which is the SDSU Fitness Center, it is currently getting like a massive renovation, but honestly, it's pretty small, and I didn't really like working out there just because most of the people who worked out there were like big buff frat guys, and I just like was uncomfortable. So honestly, I wasn't really a big fan of the ARC. They're trying to make it nicer, but it's gonna be like a multi-million-dollar renovation, so like in a few years it will be really nice. But when I was a freshman, I didn't really like it, and that's also why I gained the freshman 15, because I didn't want to work out there. But it's gonna get a lot nicer, so excited to see that in the future. Next thing that I wanted to talk about was Greek life. So if you guys didn't know, I was in a sorority for 3 years. So I was in Kappa Delta at SDSU, and being in Greek life was the best part of my college experience. I met my best friends through Greek life. It was amazing. I loved every second that I was in Greek life. And so I was also able to hold a lot of leadership positions in Greek life as well. And I just had like the best time. Like, I feel like my college experience wouldn't have been the same without Greek life. Aside from being a part of Kappa Delta, I was also in Order of Omega, I was in Rho Lambda, and then I was also in Sister. So those are all just different Greek organizations too. And then I was also a Rho Gamma for Panhellenic recruitment. So just a lot of Greek life involvement. But if you guys have any questions about Greek life, just let me know. I can probably make a whole entire video about Greek life at SDSU, but that will take up this entire video, so let me know if you guys have any comments. I did make a video about my experience being a Rogam and then also my experience going through sorority recruitment, so those will be in the description below. But Greek life was the best. That's all I gotta say. And then the next thing that I wanted to talk about was the party scene as a freshman. So obviously college is the time to experiment, get to know what you like doing, and so that, okay, my camera just died, we're back. I literally just ate lunch and took a nap, but we're back. So what was I talking about? Parties. So party scene as a freshman. It is a fun time, and you can really party wherever you want up until sorority recruitment. And SDSU has it where sorority recruitment is a lot later than other schools, so you do have like a month to like mingle with all types of people, go to all different types of parties. You can go to frat parties too when you are a brand new freshman, just because they want to party with freshmen. So at the Aztec nights that I was just talking about, there will be a bunch of frat guys standing around and giving you an invite to go to their frat parties. So you can literally party wherever. There's also a bunch of house parties too and satellite parties. Satellites are basically mini frat houses that aren't the chapter houses around the SDSU neighborhood. So you can party there, you can party wherever you'd like. And then there's also parties too in like Aztec Corner and Paseo Place, which is like on campus housing too, but for like sophomores and stuff. And so those are also party destinations, as well as there are times that there is drinking happening in the dorms. That is against the rules, but I never had alcohol in my dorm. But there were places where you could do it and just don't get caught. But that's also a thing as well. I don't condone that just because you can get written up for it and get in trouble. So I would just do your partying like not in your actual dorm building. But there's so many ways that you can party if that's what you're into. But then also at the same time, it's not like mandatory to party either. Out of my 4 roommates, including myself, I was really the only one who partied, and the 3 of them, they were fine. They didn't feel the need to party, which I totally understood. But if you want to party, there's a lot of opportunities for partying. And if you have any questions about parties at SDSU as a freshman, just leave them down below for me and I will answer all of your party questions. Okay, next thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about is classes, of course. So classes as a freshman, you're going to be mostly taking general ed classes. So those are going to be basic, like Com 103 is a big one. There's like History 101. A lot of people take this like stats, and then Spanish 101, just like basic 101 classes. So a lot of these classes at State are really big just because the campus is a pretty big. So a lot of people have like 500 people in a class. There's like big lecture halls, and so it's pretty hard to get like noticed in a class if you want to be noticed by your professor. But it's just easy to like get by, honestly. The GE classes, they don't matter too much. It matters more when you're in your actual major classes, but as a freshman, you don't really have those. You do have pre-major classes. So when I came in as a kinesiology major because I wanted to be a physical therapist, I took ENS 200, so that's just a basic like exercise nutritional science class, and it's just like a 500 person lecture hall. So it's just like more specific for like a pre-major, not as generic as the general ed courses, but still a little bit more fine-tuned to what you want your major to be. So those you just like get by. They're honestly really easy. For GE classes too, you can find all the answers to everything on Quizlet online. Just to be real, you can find everything. And then also too, if you get like online books for stuff, it's really easy to find stuff. But there's Quizlets for everything. And if you didn't know that, you're welcome. But there's Quizlets for everything. It's really easy to get by. GE courses aren't meant to be like too difficult or too hard or like for you to fail. So they're meant for you to like get transitioned into college from high school to college, and it's there to give you a little transition period. But anyways, from there, so classes usually are about 50 minutes or they're an hour and a half, or if you're really unlucky, they'll be 2 hours and 40 minutes. But freshman year, majority of my classes were 50 minutes, and then they give you like 10 minutes to get to your next class if you have one right after that. So for example, it would be from 1 to 1:50. You could have a class at 2, but most of the time you do have breaks in between. So you can get food, you can go study, watch Netflix, do whatever you want. And then how many classes, if you're a full-time student, you usually will take like 15 to 18 credits or units. So I always was a full-time student, and so I think I took like 15 most semesters, or 18, but it's not too bad of a course load. It's really easy to manage. And then people going to class, I would say for GE courses, it's really easy to skip class, just because most of the time those professors too, they put all of their PowerPoints on Blackboard, so they have the notes already for you. You can find the notes online. It's really easy to skip class. I don't recommend doing it a lot just because you do miss out and you are paying to go to college, but if you have to skip, it's okay. But go to class. That's all I have to say. And then for me personally, my major freshman year, like I said before, was kinesiology. But after I took Chem 100, I realized that wasn't the move for me, and it was just not it anymore. So my freshman year, I spent majority of it contemplating my major, not knowing what I should be doing with my life. So then my mom was like, oh, you're so creative, you should do something with the creative route. So I switched my major my sophomore year to journalism, but I did take pre-major classes for the major my freshman year, because since they are pre-major classes, you don't have to like get yourself tied down to the major yet. So the pre-major classes for journalism were really cool. I took JMS 210, which was like a social media class, and then I took like a digital media class, and they were super cool. So that's why I switched, because I liked the pre-major classes. But if you have a lot of uncertainty, I would just go in and be undeclared, just because you have 2 years to figure it out, and you can take whatever classes you want, and you don't have to have specific classes that you're required to take because of pre-major requirements. So just go undeclared if you're uncertain at all, and that would be like a way better option. Going into my next topic is popular off-campus activities and just things to do in San Diego. So going to SDSU means that you are living in one of the best cities in the entire world. A lot of people don't have that luxury of being in a great city that has so many different places. So many of my friends from home, they went to places that like weren't as nice as San Diego. And every time like I had friends who came and visited me, they were so jealous that I lived in San Diego. So it is seriously like an amazing place to live, and like a great place to do things. So just like some of the things that are some things that you should have on your bucket list going into freshman year is definitely hitting up the beaches, and specifically Pacific Beach, Mission Beach, Ocean Beach, La Jolla Shores, La Jolla Cove, Coronado Beach, and I'm probably missing one, but all of the beaches. And then make sure you definitely go hiking in Torrey Pines. Make sure that you go shopping at Fashion Valley, go to all of the malls. There's so many things to do. Like there's also a lot of great food places too in San Diego. So there's Convoy Street, where they have a bunch of Asian food. There's Little Italy in downtown. There is so many places. Wow, I really can't even like think right now. Also at the La Jolla Mall downtown, there's the outlets by the border too. There's Belmont Park, which is by Mission Beach. There's a roller coaster and different like carnival games there. There's North Park, which is a super trendy place that you can take cute Instagram pictures. Then there's downtown San Diego. There's Old Town with a lot of Mexican food and a lot of just San Diego history. Then there's Sunset Cliffs, where you can see the sunset every night. There is Liberty Station that has a lot of great food options too. And there's just like so many food places, and San Diego is just like the best place in the world. You could do so many things at the beaches as well. And so just make sure that you do take advantage of all of that. Freshman year, I definitely made friends with people who had cars. I know now freshmen aren't allowed to have cars, so take the train around. There's a trolley system in San Diego that makes it really easy to like get around. So make sure you take advantage of that, but just make sure that you do all of the amazing like off-campus activities as possible, because those were like the best times, was getting away from school and doing fun things with your friends. And the next thing that I wanted to talk about was specifically being an out-of-state student. So if you guys didn't know, I'm from Illinois, and more specifically Plainfield, Illinois, and it's just a little small town that is about an hour away from Chicago. So when I decided where I wanted to go to school, I told myself I didn't want to stay in the Midwest and I wanted to get as far away from Plainfield as possible. So I always loved California, and when I came to San Diego when I was in like middle school, I like loved it. And so then my dad and I, we went on a bunch of college tours. We went to Nevada, Arizona, and California. And so SDSU was my favorite school. It was my top choice actually, and I wanted to go so badly. And so when I got accepted, I like knew immediately that was the school that I was gonna go to. So I thought it was gonna be all fine and dandy, and that it was gonna be amazing, and it was gonna be my dreams come true, right? So I packed up all my stuff. I went to SDSU, and for the first time in my entire life, I was so out of my comfort zone. I was so like not good, you know? And I think there was like this culture shock with being in Illinois my entire life and never leaving my parents' side, to them dropping me off in California 2,000 miles away. And so it was like a big change for me. I was super homesick the first semester that I was at school, and so I cried a lot. There was a lot of days where I like hated my life. I actually looked into transferring to University of Illinois, where one of my best friends went to school, and I was like, I'm gonna go back home. I wanna be closer to my family. I don't like being this far away. And so that forced me to be in this like little just sadness, and I didn't really feel comfortable with making a lot of friends. But thankfully after that, I did meet a lot of great people on my floor, and so they helped me with that entire transition. And so if it wouldn't have been for those people that I met, I probably would have like transferred to another school, because I really hated my life freshman year. But second semester freshman year got a lot better for me. And so I think for any out-of-state people, just make sure that you connect with other people. Those are going to be the people who really lift you up when you're feeling down and feeling homesick, and those are going to be the people who will be there, especially when you can't fly home, because it's expensive to fly home and you have to plan it out in advance. I remember my freshman year too, one of my high school teachers from high school, she actually passed away, and a lot of people like went back to go to her memorial, and I couldn't. And so that was really hard for me too, and just I went through a lot of stuff freshman year that was just like not good. And so I had a lot of like mental health stuff freshman year. And so just rely on like good people in your life to help you, because that's really what's gonna like get you through it. So that's how I was able to get through it my freshman year. And now I've been living here for 4.5 years, and thankfully too, my parents, they were like, just stick it out. Like, we don't want you to just come back home and like be back in your comfort zone. Like, you should be exploring, making new memories, making new friends. And so thankfully they pushed me to stay too. So thankfully for my parents as well, that's the reason why I'm still here today. But if you are out of state, I did make a video like a very long time ago about the pros and cons of being an out of state student. So if you guys want to check that out too, I will also put that in the description box as well. Okay, so the last things that I just wanted to say about knowing all of the stuff as a freshman at SDSU is that it's gonna be a brand new place and just brand new vibes. And so it's gonna be just a big change to a lot of you, and it might be super overwhelming at first, but you will survive. I know for a fact that it might be really tough at first, but I know for a fact that you all will rock it and you all will be amazing, and it will be one of the greatest experiences of your entire life. I didn't realize it in the moment when I was a freshman, but ever since freshman year, I have always looked back and reminisced on the memories that I made freshman year and all of the amazing friends that I made freshman year. And honestly, once freshman year is over, people go and live in their separate apartments, they live their separate lives, people join different sororities and different fraternities, and then everyone just sort of drifts away after freshman year, which is sort of sad, but it's definitely true, because you go every day seeing the same people every single day and hanging out with them every single day until like midnight every day, and then going from that to not seeing them anymore just because you don't live with them. It's a big change. So freshman year is gonna be the year that you meet the most people, you make the most memories, and you have the best time, just because you're a freshman in college, and that's when you're thriving. Like, that is the best time to be in college, because you're new, you're fun and fresh, and it's just so much more fun, and you're not washed up, you're not old, you're probably gonna join a sorority or a fraternity, and it's just gonna be all great. And so that's the time to just really just have an amazing time, and don't stress out too much about school, don't stress out too much about anything else. Just be there, live in the moment, and just make the most of your experience at SDSU. So that is all the advice and things that I wanted to let you guys know for all of you incoming freshmen for San Diego State University. I hope you guys really liked this video today. I know it is a little bit longer, but I did have a lot of things that I wanted to cover, and I do feel like I still have some things that I could talk about in other videos. So if you guys wanted to get more information about like Greek life or anything, let me know in the comments so I can make another video for you guys if you guys are interested. And so I hope this video really helped you guys out, and I am wishing all of you incoming freshmen the best of luck at San Diego State University. It is the best school in the world. I wouldn't have traded it for anything. I love SDSU, and you guys will too. So that is it for today's video. So make sure you give it a big thumbs up if you liked this video. Leave those comments down below for me, and then don't forget to follow me on my Instagram at emilygmyint for all of my Instagram content, and if you want to creep a little bit on all of my old SDSU pictures as well. And then lastly, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you guys like this content and want to see more feature videos. So that is it for today, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!